Hi, this is Terry King. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get started in making the mini presentation on how to make the #1 best cupcake in the world. As you can see right here, I won first place a few years ago making my Irish cupcakes. The reason I did it was for my dad. My dad is Irish and he had passed away, and I knew that this was his favorite cupcakes. The first thing that we need to do is to start with these basic ingredients. Your stout Irish beer, your butter, your cocoa, and then we're going to put it in our saucepan, heat it up, and then cool. For the second step, you're going to want to mix your dry ingredients. We have your flour, we have your sugar, your baking soda, and salt. You'll mix them together. Oops. Then you're going to whisk it. Here we go. We're going to whisk, whisk, whisk. Now some people think that the beer that you have left over is something that you might want to enjoy while you're making these cupcakes, and that's what makes them so good. I, on the other hand, don't think so, but my dad sure used to enjoy that. Next. The third portion of our making of the cupcakes is to enter the sour cream and the 2 eggs. Try not to get the shells in. Every once in a while I do, but it's good protein. Oops. Here we go. I like to sing when I'm doing this. When my dad was alive, we used to like to do the Irish songs, but just for today, I think I'll just let it go. So now we're gonna whip, whip, whip. Okay, maybe it's blend. After a little bit of time, you're going to now enter or put in the chocolate mixture. You're going to slow it down. Enter the chocolate. Now I suggest that you be really careful when you enter the chocolate stuff because it can go all over the place. It reminded me of a time that I made chocolate mousse, and unfortunately that went all over the kitchen too. But for right now, just try and get as much of the chocolate in here as you can. This is very important, because this is where all the beer is to make those famous Irish cream cupcakes. Once you've done that, you're going to enter your dry mixture. Now the dry mixture can start coming up and poofing up. So you want to do just a little bit at a time. Just keep rolling and rolling and rolling. In just a couple minutes, we're going to have the cupcake part done. We're now going to put them in the oven. As you can see, I have these special cupcake liners. These are little Irish cupcake liners. I like to use those. They just make it a little bit more festive. I use a 1/3 cup to use this. You can use whatever you want, but the most important thing about this part is making sure that you get the right amount in each one. Otherwise, you're going to end up burning some and not cooking the others. You want to preheat your oven to 350, fill them up about 2/3 of the way up, and then you're going to put it in your oven. You're going to time it for about 12 minutes and then check on it. But be very careful when you check it so it makes sure that it doesn't fall. We just took the cupcakes out of the oven and boy does it smell great. Now, what makes these cupcakes different than other cupcakes? Why did this one go from maybe an okay cupcake to a #1 cupcake? The secret? Irish whiskey. Like I said, I'm not much of a drinker myself. However, this is what you do. As soon as it comes out of the oven, you take the whiskey and you have it right on top of your cupcakes. This is where it really gets good. You're going to let it infuse right into the cupcakes while it's hot, and it goes and it saturates the whole thing. Now, it doesn't really taste like whiskey. It just has a little bit of a kick to it. And that's what makes these cupcakes different than the rest of cupcakes. Now we're about to fill the cupcakes. Now it says to use a chocolate ganache, but I found that that's a little too rich for these kind of cupcakes. So what I do is I just go ahead and take some melted chocolate chips with some whipped cream and just use that instead. You make your holes by something that's called, I don't know what they call it, but anyway, you just push it down, turn it around, take it out, and now we're going to fill our cupcakes. We're almost done. Now we're making the frosting. What makes this frosting really good is the Bailey's Irish cream that we put in it. Now this was my dad's favorite. Every single morning he put this in his coffee. And when I was making this, all I could think about was my dad and how happy he would be if he could eat these cupcakes right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the butter, the powdered sugar, and then the Irish cream. It's time to finally ice the cupcake. It's made out of the powdered sugar, the butter, and of course, our famous Bailey's Irish cream. This is the piping that I use. And I just go in a circle and all the way up. I also made a chocolate 4-leaf clover that we're going to put right on top of it. Voila! We have finally finished our famous Bailey's Irish Cream cupcakes. To you, Dad, with love.